Learning how to change. Let me show you how to influence this decision-making part of our mind and start the beginnings of new behavior and reward systems. So I want to break this down into very simple terms and analogies to show you how you can do this. Consider from this point in time that we need to negotiate and to re-educate our subconscious mind and build a new neural pathways to make new choices and learn new behaviors and ultimately a new and better lifestyle. And this is the key to long-term continuous weight loss and weight management. Scientific research has also proved that the old neural pathways began to shrink in size when no longer exercised. So in a sense, it is imperative for us to start new ones, better ones, and hardwire ourselves for long-term change in the direction we wish to be heading. Let's consider this decision-making faculty similar to a free-flowing set of scales, just like the scales of justice we are familiar with. We call this our decision scale, and all the time and every moment it is weighing up our perceived rewards and values every second of every day based on the now. And in the now, as things stand, we have all our reward and erroneous behavioral patterns sabotaging us. Yes, that old fat preservation program. But the reward associated with this behavior is also always here and in the now. And the good news is, we can easily influence and tip this decision scale in our favor. We can make it defer and pass up on existing perceived benefits and rewards. It is very simple for it to make a new choice and defer perceived rewards once it understands that the change in behavior results in a reward multiple times greater than the old existing ones. And we call this our multiplier rule. And if our mind perceives the new reward or pleasure as a significant multiple of the old one, then it can easily make a new choice. And it is our job to continue to reinforce this new behavior, that we are now in control, making new choices, and effectively turning off the old fat preservation program, allowing us simply and easily to release the excess weight and enjoy the freedom and control of the new program in place. With our conscious will and desires in perfect alignment with the deeper subconscious mind. So here's an example of how this instinctual part of our mind works and makes decisions for us. Unconscious decisions based on the perceived values here and in the now. Just let's pretend for a moment you're on a game show and you win the prize and the host offers you $1,000. They're holding that $1,000 right in front of you. The reward is literally here in the now, staring you in the face. And you're about to grab it and take it. Then the host makes you a new offer. Pass up on that $1,000 right now and come back in 1 year's time for $2,000. All contractually bound, we'll all still be alive, we'll all be well and here. What would you do in that moment? What would your gut instinct be? Honestly now, it's very likely you'd take the €1,000 or $1,000 here and now. It's difficult to give it up when it's in your hand, here in the now. However, if the choice was to take $1,000 now, or defer it and come back for $10,000 in that year's time, what do you think you'd do? See how easy it is for your mind to make that switch, to make a new choice. Without force, without pressure, without pain, without struggle, without feelings of denial. You would instinctually recognize the reward as much greater. You would hand back the game show host's $1,000 quite easily. You would not feel hard done by. In fact, you would enjoy deferring what was perceived as a reward in the here and now because you have realized your multiplier effect. The $10,000 is something very tangible, something very real that can be accounted and equated for. It is very real, it's a guarantee. And this decision-making faculty of yours loves tangible reasons. And this is one of the keys to re-educating and reconditioning it. Tangible reasons, or reasons that seem real, have a value, or even have a time component and a guarantee associated with them. Another brilliant example of how we can instantly change a behavior when our decision-making faculty recognizes a real and much better tangible reason is in cigarette smoking. Do you know any of your female friends who were smokers who became pregnant, and notice how instantly the vast majority of them stopped smoking the moment they found out they were pregnant? Stop doing something that is held so addictive and impossible to stop, without a stack of withdrawal symptoms or some of the nonsense that gets sold to us. Let me explain to you what happened in that moment. Their decision-making set of scales were quite literally thinking, will I have my cigarette and all the perceived rewards and associations I have learned and built up over the years that I associate with smoking? Or will I go ahead and smoke and poison my unborn baby? And think of how tangible and real having a baby to protect is. How this reward is far greater than the perceived value in the old one. And like a light switch flipping in their heads, they have stopped smoking. So what's going to make that switch in your head? What's going to turn the fat switch off? What's going to be the multiplier or decision the decision based on tangible reasons which will begin to re-educate and train your subconscious mind to put an end to the old program, to begin a new one, and build a new neural associative pathways? I'd like you to refer to the program's questionnaire on the true cost and recall your answers to: what activities have I failed to pursue because of my weight? What dreams have I avoided? What relationships or situations have I avoided? What has been the true painful cost of being overweight? And it's not pretty. And this is what the old, ridiculous subconscious mind program has been achieving for you in its attempt to help you, to support you, to soothe you and comfort you. So I'd like you to take a moment now and refer to your exercise of identifying your future ideal self, as per the course handout. Really go through all those steps again. And now let's take another moment and write down your target weight. I want you to take this moment now, write down your fantasy weight. Have a really good look at that number. Now I know right now that there is a part of your mind that doesn't even believe this is possible. But follow my instructions and I will teach you to believe. Imagine you stood on a set of scales right now and they give you a reading of that fantasy weight you just wrote down. Imagine this scenario. How do you think you'd feel? You would feel so amazing you would hit the ceiling. Just feel how this could feel for you deep inside. Just thinking of it. You can feel the positive emotion. Imagine your eyes just lighting up. This positive emotion has nothing to do with the numbers in the scale. This emotion is all about how you physically look. It's about how good you feel. How good you look and feel about you. Imagine your self-confidence and self-esteem just exploding. Imagine how other people comment about how good you look. Imagine being able to finally walk into a store and buy whatever you want, whatever clothes you want, right off a rack. Imagine being approached and asked out on dates. All these positive emotions and thoughts are totally recognized by this decision-making set of scales. It sees them as tangible. In fact, in my professional experience, there's nothing more intangible than a real empowering emotion of how good you feel about you. And you can decide to feel how you want to feel about you at any moment you choose to. And it feels the new positive rewards and emotions, and with practice and reinforcement, we can build new habits, a new behavioral program, a new neural pathway that will easily become part of a whole new you and lifestyle change to long-term and continuous weight loss and weight management. And by educating it in these new rewards and psychological investment, then we flick that fat switch off and begin to create new habits, new behaviors, new neural associative pathways, and tilting the decision-making set of scales for good. And we have to recognize that we have been cheated by inappropriate foods and snacks and ensuing habits. I dare you right now or sometime this day to put in front of you any candy, chocolate, crisps, fast foods, high-fat content products, etc., all those inappropriate foods and snacks, all those little crutches that you've had. Sit them right down in front of you and ask yourself, what is in this food? What is in these old behaviors that is going to make me feel like I would at or approaching my target weight? What is in this food and these old behaviors that is going to make you feel like you did deep inside, imagining yourself at your target weight? These positive emotions about how you physically look, how good you feel, how good you look and feel about you. Imagine your self-confidence and self-esteem just skyrocketing. Imagine how other people comment how good you look. Imagine being finally able to walk into a store and buy whatever clothes you want straight off the rack. Just getting your life back. It isn't in the food, is it? There is nothing in that food that can give any of you any of these values to you. Not one bit. You've been duped, sabotaged all this time because your unconscious mind was making a decision based on the now, based on the emotional trigger in this specific moment, and topped off with the fact that you have become hardwired to do so. Imagine all the times you tried to get what you want by doing the exact opposite of what you actually want. This is the error in the old program. So today we need to decide. We need to decide on where we want to be. The rewards and the new behaviors must be recognized to far outstrip the old ones. Again, think of all the new rewards and benefits if you were at your target weight. Recall everything you've detailed in your ideal future self form. Allow yourself to feel that positive emotion. These positive emotions are about how you physically look, how good you feel, how good you look and feel about you. Imagine your self-esteem and self-confidence just exploding, and finally you are in control. You are achieving your dream. And all these benefits far outweigh the old bad habits. They're now totally redundant. If I was to follow you around for the next 6 months and every time you thought of eating something inappropriate, I could just magically jump out of a box and say, listen, we've got 2 choices today. You can eat that junk right now, or let's pretend I've just been given magic powers, and if I click my fingers, you could be at your target weight in this moment right now. What would you choose in that moment? I think you'd take the fingers right off my hand. But unfortunately, I can't follow you around for the rest of your life. You have to do this and take control of this. Take control of these thoughts. They are only thoughts, thoughts can be changed, and this program is going to teach you how for once and for all. In extreme circumstances, anybody can change a thought. If you were in a POW camp, for example, in an interrogation situation, and you were complaining about feeling hungry, and your captor put a gun to your head and told you to feel fuller, you could change your thought or sensation that you were feeling. Of course you could. So let's consider what you have now decided to do to finally lose and manage your weight. So let's consider where we are right now, an extreme situation. Because you are at a place in time where you've had enough. You've hit a pain barrier from which you have decided to come back from and change all these old thoughts and patterns that have created and produced for you the results that affect you in such negative ways. And as our subconscious and conscious minds now become in alignment with our true desires, this process can be easy, struggle-free, and enjoyable.